Good evening, racing fans. We are coming to you from the city of Most in the Czech Republic to bring you week 9 of the Racers Without Borders FRX17 series. And we are here to start this party. As always, I am joined here with my partner in crime, my compatriot from across the pond, TK. TK, say good evening to the folks, shall we?
Good evening out there. How are we all tonight? Looking forward to a good race tonight. We've seen some lovely action over the past weeks, and I'm sure this is going to live up to it as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had a heck of a race last week over in Spa-Francorchamps, and we look to go ahead and continue a little bit of excellence here and continuing this series now in literally now week 9 out of 12. We've got a few more races to go. We've definitely got a points war going off with Rigel, Seahacks, and a few others right now that are leading the actual course. It's going to be a lot of fun. This course is definitely a little bit different. There is a lot to it. A lot of straightaways. Fast course. This will definitely favor the flat-out drivers more than the technical drivers, but this should be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, as I say, it's still tight. A lot to play for. Seahacks pulled off a win last week. Rodders in second, and then followed that up with Rigel in third. Looking at the timings, let's have a quick flick about. Seahacks seems to be up there again. Along with Rodders, straight up Pinto's up there. But Rigel seems to be down in fourth at the minute. We'll see how it pans out.
Absolutely. So we've got 12 on the course at the moment here, and these are going to go ahead and shift around as time goes on. Tires get warm and drivers get a little bit more comfortable. But as always, we're going to try and provide you with an entertaining show here as these guys go ahead and zip about on their respective areas on the track here.
Aye, it looks like Pinpoint has remembered what day it is, and he's turned up. Whee! The governor.
Well done, Pinners. Well done.
So he's got the voice of Mr. McLean, that guy. He's the governor.
He's always a lot of fun to listen to, especially with me with my American accent. I get it. It's all good. So, a little bit about this course here. Most became the first permanent motor racing facility in Czechoslovakia, or what is now known as the Czech Republic, when it opened in 1983. Though the history of racing in a local area goes back quite a few decades before it, it was always somewhat overshadowed by, Brno, which was the older course and probably the other more well-known course in the Czech Republic. It carved out a successful business as a host for Czech Truck Grand Prix, National Motorsports. Excuse me, guys. Tongue's a little bit out of shape here. We'll get that going. Also, general automobile testing as well as driver training. Construction of this course began in 1978. The center of the Verbensky Open Mine. One of a number of former industrial plots that fill the landscape to the west of the city. And over the course of the next 4 years, the circuit gradually began to take shape. And by 1983, it was finally ready to go ahead and begin operation. This is a long and thin, just barely over 2.5 mile course.
I think the gremlins have got to you again. Where you go?
There we go. Sorry about that. So this has been an actual European home for both motorcycling and, well, let's just put it this way, 2-wheel and 4-wheel racing on this course, and has enjoyed a pretty long, rich history of doing that as well. Group C, Formula 3. So these guys do quite their share of racing here at the course, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun tonight.
Yeah, I also noticed there was a off-road course at the track, or on the complex of this track. It seems a pretty sprawling complex from what I've seen from Google Earth views. I think it was built on an old open cast mine, so There you go. A bit of environmental there, giving back there, turning something that was probably an eyesore into a beautiful circuit with the looks of it.
Just keep in mind, it's about a 90-minute drive to the north, neighboring Germany, and it's also just west of, or it's in the northwest of the Czech Republic here. So it's in a nice little area of the country, and beautiful weather here tonight here, especially or today for the race, and we'll definitely have a little bit of a time getting through these qualifiers, and we'll start showing you what the track looks like. There are quite a few racers right now that we'll have to go ahead and go through, but looks like our field is going to be 12 today.
Yep, 12. Well, maybe a few late starters, but 7 minutes left. They could be pushing it. Next week, a little link. The long straight here looks very similar to what we're going to get next week at Monza. I wonder if there's going to be a few mishaps in that turn one. Maybe at the start or lap 2, 3, as people get used to the speed change. That is one hell of a long straight.
We're going to go on board here with FX, and he's going to run us through the course here.
One thing I did note in practice, stay off those sausages in that chicane. Oof, they look lethal.
Yeah, and they're actually on all of the heavier turns as well. They will cause problems, especially with these light X17 racing cars. There's my commentator's curse again.
Voodoo dolls.
We're going to go on board with Jammer, our resident musician and expert in everything musical. As you can tell, though, this is not an extremely wide track, so positioning, your turn entries and exits are going to be very important. Here we go with the down straight, and we're going to go ahead and run through these steps here. Down the straightaway, these turns are simply numbered. These are not named in any way, shape or form. Into turn 2, this will go ahead and flow out a bit into a little bit of a left turn, sweeping left turn, I should say, back to the right, and a strong 90-degree left, and a 45-degree right, another 45-degree right, and so forth and so on. As you can tell here, coming up on the hairpin here at turn 10. Here we go. Wow, that wasn't as bad as I thought that would be. There we go. And this will get them back into the straightaway.
Yeah, some of the data I've been pulling from the little app I'm running, it looks like they're running just over half the distance, full throttle. From about turn 5 to turn 10 is a bit of a technical, snaky section. 11, maybe through to 15 could be a long section, flowing corners. Yeah, quite a few options on the DRS should you get in that time to actually activate it. We saw last week quite a few drivers were running their DRS all the way up Eau Rouge, and it helped them that little bit as they got to Lacoums, the chicane there. I wonder if that will come into play tonight.
So checking in with 3.5 minutes left in qualifying here, we see Rodders has got a commanding lead. Whoops. Oh. Commanding lead there at 103.2. Seahacks at 103.396. Rigel at 104 even. Madley just behind him, literally 0.05 of a second at 104.06. Audi, our resident tire whisperer, So it looks like we've got a lot of people occupying that 104 and the 103 time frame. Got a couple of laggers there in the 105, but not much. This looks to be a pretty tight grouping here for the qualifying.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the tyre selection tonight and all might have a huge bearing on it. We did see last week Seahawks put those 2 stints in. I think he adapted on the fly and so bugger it, I'll gain some speed with these, I'll keep them. So he did run two of those sections on the softs. I'm wondering how the tyre selection tonight will play.
You know, there's a lot of turns and a lot of tire wear to kind of be expected halfway into the actual course on the lap itself. I'd be very surprised if they could keep up that kind of pace in the soft tires.
Yeah, on one of the right turns we're pulling nearly 6 Gs, and into braking we're pulling nearly 4.5 Gs. So as you say, it could, as like last week, it was the Eau Rouge and the compression there that probably foxed a few people. I'm wondering if that high-powered right will spin a few people out on that one.
Yeah, and that'll definitely go ahead and increase a little wear as well, especially as the cars get over the track, tires get warm, leave a little bit on the track. Traction will get a little bit iffy at times here and there, but we will definitely see as we're watching Seahawks actually make mincemeat of those chicanes like nobody's business.
Yeah, there's certainly some nice flowing sections to this. It looks really complicated. The tight section there of T5 to T10, and then probably like the section T15 through to more or less T20 coming up to the final corner. A lovely long straight there with the Monza-esque chicane to slow everybody down.
That should be a little bit of a nightmare come here on the first lap. We're going to have to keep an eye on that.
It's not a track you probably come across in a lot of public lobbies. As I say that, someone just goes off. I see X pulls into the pits. But yeah, I've not seen it run much on public lobbies compared to Monza, which is like the fly catcher. As I say, everybody just buzzes to that one.
Yeah. All right, well, that'll do it for qualification, and Mr. Rodders has taken the pole. Congratulations, Rodders. Nice run. So the overall course run that we're going to be having is going to be Rodders in first, Seahawks in second, Pinto, well done, sir, in third, Rigel in fourth, Madley in fifth, our tire whisperer in sixth, Jammer, our resident musician, in seventh, H-Tune in eighth, Al Gartner in ninth, Pinpoint in 10th, FX in 11th, and the old man Charger in 12th.
Yeah, 12-man field tonight. So just coming up to the end of qualifying. And, yeah, looks to be a good race. Quite a few of these lads have been putting in 40, 50 laps training, and that's been from last week. So yeah, it should. I think they should know the track by now. But I think that the tight, windy sections could prove a little bit too much for the softs, because as it stands there, I think Rodders put that quick lap, fastest lap in on mediums.
It's going to be interesting to see. We're going to have to keep an eye out on what they set for their tires in the beginning of the race here. Just a reminder for everyone, this is an 80-minute race. This is not lap-based. This is going to be time-based. So we will have to, keep an eye out on it. Average laps have been averaging, or I should say average time on laps have been in the 103 to 106 time frame, pretty tight time frame here. So that means that these guys are going to be doing about 80 laps, 80 laps, maybe 70 on the onset. Just depends on how fast the track gets along the way, which means we might see 4 sets of tires. We'll have to go ahead and keep an eye on that. That will be kind of determined by their strategy, but we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, with the distance and the time, it could see it actually coming down to pit strategies. Seeing if you can get in that a little bit quicker onto fresher tyres and the tyre choice as well. So a few variables tonight. Should make for some interesting racing just as we're going up to the end of the warm session.
Yeah, fuel will most definitely be something to be, keeping an eye on. Just a short track, which means they're going to try and keep the weight down as much as they can. So a little bit of plotting and planning and everything in between. So we will see how this plots out. These guys have worked the numbers, used the slide rules, hit the calculator. So I'm quite sure they've got a plan in mind. We'll see how this pans out. In any case, we're down to the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds of warm up. TK and I are going to go ahead and gargle a little bit of water here real quick and get ready for the race. In any case, stay tuned. We will be back with the Autodrom Moss Grand Prix here for Racers Without Borders, the FRX17 Week 9 series. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to the last minute of warm-up here. I wanted to go ahead and give a shout-out here to our sponsor here at Racing Sim Tools. Guys, a great piece of software to go ahead and take a look at, your progress and how you go through your actual journey here on the track and, find ways to go ahead and improve with your setup and your timing. Go ahead and check them out at racingsimtools.com and let them know how much you appreciate them helping us out here with the stream and other hardware that we use to go ahead and bring this to you guys.
Yeah, and if you're looking to race on quite a few platforms, come down and join us. I believe the link there is in, Yep, it's in YouTube. If you're into your sim racing, come and join us.
The warm-up has ended. They're going to go ahead and get that 1 minute of time there. We're going to go ahead and get things shifted into race form. TK, you got the knuckles cracked. You got the back stretched. You got the voice warmed up. You ready for this?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Should be a good race, this one. Should be a good race.
So one last time to take a last puff on the cigarette, get a quick sip of that tea, get a kiss from the wife, get that extra stretch while you're in that chair. It's time to race, boys. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's sat there on the line checking everything.
They're on the line. They are ready to roll. We are taking aboard our Autodrom Moss Grand Prix, and we are off to the races. Rodder's pulling out in a very commanding first spot here, but now things are bunching up. We're going to get into that first chicane. Here's where it gets interesting.
Seems to be all clear.
For the most part, looks like they went through without too much of an issue.
All gentlemanly. Very nice, very nice.
Well done, guys. Well done. So we're going to go ahead and let this pan out a little bit as the field starts taking shape.
Also got a mix on the tyre selection tonight. Rodders is there on the mediums, being chased by Pinto on softs, and Justin is also on the softs. Followed down to C-Hacks. He's made the... oh, I've got that one right. Yeah, C-Hacks is on mediums tonight for this first stint, along with Rigel, and Pinpoint has also joined them on the soft compound.
We're going to go ahead and check in here after the first lap. We're going to go ahead and go through the field here. So in first place, we've got Rodders. Second, Pinto. Third, Justin Madley. Fourth, C-Hacks. Fifth, check that. Fourth is Rigel. Fifth is C-Hacks. Well, no, check that again. Looks like we're going to have a battle between fourth and fifth in these two. They were going at it last week as well. Mr. Pinpoint in sixth, the governor, so to speak. Our tire whisperer in seventh, and Audi. Jammer, our musician, in eighth. H-Tune in ninth. FX in 10th. Charger in 11th. And Al Gartner looks to be off the course.
Yeah, so did you have a wheel miss in there?
Indeed, he did. Looks like he had a little bit of a control issue here.
Yeah, I'm sure these things work a lot better with four wheels.
Well, yeah, and they could probably turn a heck of a lot better too. You know, I don't know. I'd like to think that.
Now, is that our first retirement of the night? I'm not sure. Is he having it repaired?
It looks like he may be. It looks like he's sitting down and sitting this one out. We're going to go on board here with Justin Madley right now, who seems to be defending a few positions here, as he's taken over second place as overtaking Pinto on DRS. Let's go on board with C-Hacks. Right now, he's sitting in the fourth place right now, going into turn 15. And looking like the group is starting to bunch in. So we are getting a scrum here between third and fifth place, where first and second right now are enjoying sizable leads in the front.
Yeah, Rodders seems to be opening up a commanding lead at the moment over Madley. As I said, this chasing pack here, there seems to be some nice action going off. Nice nose-to-tail action. How we like it here at RWB. And then a little bit further gap down to Pinpoint. I'll pick him up there. There we go, there's Pinners. Oh, Pinto, sorry. And there's the governor. He's leading the next charging pack with the looks of it. Following that is Audi, a tyre whisperer, and then the man who jammer, and then right up his backside is H-Tune.
Oh, looks like Jammer got his rear end out a little bit there. Yikes. FX, of course, 10th. Charger, the old man, in 11th. Come on, Charger. Kick that thing into gear. Let's go, man. Let's go back on board here with second place and Justin Madley, who is now actually really holding his own right now, but looks like we've got a close position here with C-Hacks in sixth place right now, and he is off the course.
Have you been messing with your voodoo doll again, sir?
I have not, and Pinpoint is also off. I think we had some contact there, so looks like those guys might be done.
Didn't quite catch what corner it was on, so I don't know if it was the actual track or driver error on that one. So
I didn't see it. Yeah. We're going to go on board here with Rigel right now, who's actually making things very difficult for Mr. Pinto right now. Let's go on board with the let's do the front wing view, shall we?
Yeah, Pinto seems to be holding him off there with a soft selection. Rigel's on the medium, so we'll see how long this battle keeps up and whose tyres are going to hold out.
I mean, from this point too, guys, you could really get an appreciation about how fast these cars are really traveling right now.
Seems to be a lovely flowing track as well. Once you get to know it, I've been around it a few times and spent a bit of time grass cutting. But yeah, once you get to know it, it's a nice flowing track.
On board the wing for Rodders right now, who's got Justin Madley now breathing down, was breathing down his neck. He seems to be extending his lead now as he's actually crossing 2 seconds. We're going to go over to 4th place right now. And Mr. Rigel, who seems, as long as I get this right, there we go, seems to be going ahead and making Pinto, or challenging Pinto for 3rd place. My apologies, guys. Let's see what Pinto sees from his wing. Yeah, probably not as close as we were anticipating, but definitely still a fun time here.
Yeah, I'm wondering how the downforce is going to play as well. So it's like half the track you're doing more or less 100% throttle, but then you've also got half a track that looks very complicated. There's a tyre wear, we're going to have to see how that plays out at the moment, but we're on lap 7, plenty of time to go. We've got a few retirements, 3 at the moment, and Justin seems to be pushing for pushing for first, sorry.
Well, as short as this course is, too, we could probably expect things to calm down here over the next 4 or 5 laps. We're going to start seeing, the drivers start taking their own, rhythm and figuring things out. They're getting the butterflies out of their stomach, and they're starting to find that kind of rhythm. They're getting into that zone, so to speak, where they're getting used to the turns. The tires are warming up nicely, and things are going to start, pulling through. Let's get on board with, we're going to stick with Rigel right now. Oh, we got some Pinto cutting the course there a little bit.
He went for the bouncy on the grass. Not the best idea.
Well, and I think he had a couple of sausages on the side of the track as well. I think that didn't help his case much.
Oh, they will send you airborne. Yeah, they are a nasty set of sausages.
Not the sausages that you like to have for breakfast, Just not a good time.
Oh, they definitely make you bang.
Oh, we could get into it, but let's have a little moment there. We're gonna get on board with Justin Madley, who's now on 2nd place. Right now, he's about 1.5 seconds behind Rodders. He has been consistent, to say the very least. Here, he's on the soft tires compared to Rodders, so we could definitely expect a little bit of some tire wear earlier for him than Rodders, but. We're a little early to go ahead and start surmising on that quite yet. We'll check in. I'm thinking about what? Lap 25, maybe 23, or lap 30, you think?
Could be. As I say, it's a very slick track with that technical section. We did talk to Seahax last week, and he changed his strategy on the fly. So we're going to see how these drivers probably take the first pit, and it may give us an insight to what may unfold later on.
Should be an interesting time as well. So we're going to go on board with Justin Madley here, as we were. Sorry. And he is still kind of in, Rodder's back pocket. Let's see if we can find another group. So let's get over to Audi right now, who's trailing Jammer and really trying to make a move. But looks like he's got H-Tune climbing into his back pocket as well. Let's see how this shapes out. We've got a little bit of a log jam for 5, 6, and 7. P5 through 7. As well here.
Yeah, there'll be qualifying also for DRS, so that might come into play, whereas Rodders is out there in front. I don't think he qualifies, as a race leader. And
that's Audi in the DRS right now.
There we go.
Just disabled. There we go. He actually just fired it off, and he extended his lead. That was actually a pretty smart move there, and he actually cut into about 0.5 seconds on Jammer ahead of him. It was actually, and there's that DRS.
Yeah, squeezing every little bit of speed out there. Trying to get the driver behind, out of the actual DRS qualifying range, so he don't get it for the next round and close that gap. But as we saw last week, at the bottom of En Rouge, all the way through to the Coons, they had it wide open. And those that didn't, just as they're coming up to this,
a little contact.
just a little bit, and just as they're coming up to the chicane, they were beating the actual driver to the undertake. So I just wonder if it'll come into play again tonight.
We're going to stick with this view right now. We've got Audi, our tire whisperer, currently in position 6, and he is challenging Jammer for 5th. We're going to see how this pans out here. Let's take a look from Jammer's wing here. And he is attacking him on the inside. Nicely played, though. That was well done, Jammer. Way to keep that clean as well as they go into the actual straightaway.
Yeah, Jammer's currently in 5th in the overall standing, so he's not letting up any point. Well, losing any points. I think he's fighting for them all.
So Justin Madley right now is actually attempting to cut into that time now. He was showing at about 1.5 seconds. He's now got that down to, well, he did, to 1.1 seconds. We're going to keep an eye on that difference here and see how that pans out. But needless to say, Rodgers is definitely running away with this at the moment as we go ahead and get halfway through lap 11. Or, pardon me, almost completing lap 11.
Yeah, I'm wondering if these softs are around, we saw around about 11-12, was it last week at Spa, that the softs were starting to lose it a bit.
Yeah, but keep in mind too, though, that Spa is almost 1.5 miles longer than this course is. So
true.
Very true. We're gonna have to take a kind of a look, and that's why I was saying, because they were doing laps 12 or 13 when we started seeing the softs come in. So I would say maybe 25, 26, where we're gonna start seeing them. Get on board with Jammer right now. He is fighting Audi right now, who has just overtaken him for 5th. And now extending the lead a little bit. Well, that's the break sometimes, Jammer. Keep on it. It looks like Jammer's got some company from behind him as well.
Yeah, H-Tune seems to be closing in on his back door. But he's also got his back door being chased by FX and Old Man Charger. Go on, lad. Switch to him, is he back there? Over there is Old Man Charger. Well, respect to that man. 90 kids that guy's got. Is it 90, I think? Last count?
It's at 90 and 148 grandchildren, I think.
That's unbelievable.
And we're going to go ahead and get back onto the rodders here.
Yeah, forging away is there out in front.
Looks like he's getting ready to lap Charger. Charger, if you can hear us, watch your tail end. Play it safe here. And he has extended his lead. Look at that gap now. He is now almost 3 seconds ahead of Justin Madley. So we are now starting to see the course extend out a bit between the positions.
Yeah, Rodders is running mediums, whereas Justin's is on the soft. So Justin may have to pit a bit earlier, but then he will be on the fresher rubber. I'm wondering if he's going to change to the mediums also on this one.
We're going to get back on Jammer, who's feeling a little sore after losing 5th place here, and he's going to be challenging our resident tire expert back for it. He is now glued to his rear end. Let's see how it goes as they get into the straightaway.
DRS is open on this one.
DRS is gone. Here he goes. He's already taken back, but can he hold it with the inside track? He does. Barely. Well done, and Audi takes it back.
Lovely side-to-side racing here.
Too wide in a Formula One style race is always a lot of fun to watch. Jammer has now taken over 5th place.
Yeah, these drivers will be taking the instructions from Crew Chief, I believe, one of the little apps that we run. And it certainly helps when it's side-by-side racing on these little tight tracks.
Yeah, all it takes is one bad sneeze at the wrong moment and it can go really badly. We're on board right now with H-Tune, so now we've got this kind of conglomeration here for P6 through P8. On board with FX. As you can see now, we're 4 deep in this package here, so this is going to be interesting to see who's going to get this going. We've got DRS enabled for all 3. Who's going to take it? FX has got DRS enabled. H-Tune does not. Neither does Audi. That's interesting. So let's go over to Jammer now.
I'm wondering if the pits as well, the length of the actual pit lane will maybe lengthen the actual the gaps tonight. It's a fair long pit lane, that one.
That is, you know what, and that is actually a very good point. You are right, though. That length of that pit lane is pretty long. So we're gonna have to see how that goes. Let's go on board here with Audi right now, who is now starting to go ahead and climb back up to Jammer here as they go around the bend and get ready for the straightaway. Little wide here as he brings that in the corner. Good entry and even better exit here. Still too far away for DNS or DRS enabling, so he's going to go ahead and hold on to that. And this is what Jammer's seeing right now.
Lovely sight.
I'm going to get on board with FX right now, who right now seems to be fighting off Audi. Excuse me. I thought that was FX, but that's Jammer, guys. Sorry.
One thing I've noticed is that Rodders is very consistently putting in 104s tonight, matching his qualifying and quite a bit of the laps we were doing in practice. It seems to have settled nicely into this track.
I agree. So we're going to get over to Audi here, who seems to be leading this little bit of a pack here between 5th and 8th positions here. As you can see, all 4 of them kind of, scrambling in. Well, guys, I'd like to say that the actual race between 1st and 2nd is a close one. Unfortunately, it isn't at the moment here. Rodders has actually extended a 5-second lead. And then we get into Justin Madley in 2nd. Rigel in 3rd, that's trailing him by about 5 seconds. Pinto in 4th. And he's actually trailing about 12 seconds behind Rigel. Audi in 5th. Who's now about 3.8 seconds behind. But then we've got the scrum. In 6th, we've got Jammer. And we've got H-Tune. And then FX. And bringing up the rear, we've got good old Charger. We're going to check the wing here on Jammer because looks like Audi has taken over from H-Tune, so he's back up to 6th. We got DRS enabled for Audi, H-Tune, and FX UK. Let's see how that goes. Into the cockpit for H-Tune right now. And it's just absolutely brilliant. Look at those drive lines. He's got this one on pretty well. Revving the engine up a little bit, huh? All right, let's go on board with Jammer from the wing.
Going up to lap 19 now. Still 1 hour left. Yep, just under 1 hour. No pits to report. But, Could be coming into that window around about now.
Honestly, I think that we'd probably start seeing Justin Madley, Pinto, as they're the only ones on the soft tires right now. We should probably keep an eye on them and see, but I'm thinking we're going to see that in about another 5 or so laps.
Yeah, we'll have to watch those lap times, see if they level off or start dropping away. See how they drive a decision then to either switch to the mediums or we're on softs at the moment, so switch to mediums or another stint on the softs.
And Audi trying to pull a spot on the inside here to take over the spot from Jammer. He's going to have to continue on the outside. And he can't quite hold it. Jammer will go ahead and hold on to 4th. Nope, check that. Audi is taking over 4th. Sorry, guys, my race director is acting a little strange here today.
Mine did too on that one. I was following you exactly on that one. Mine did the exact same. Oh, Pinto's got a drive-through. Pinto has a drive-through. FX also
got
has
a drive-through. Yikes!
This could change a few track listings here.
Well, we seem to be having a visitor. We've got our Spa-Francorchamps winner here, Mr. Seahacks, in the commentator's booth. Looks like he hung up his race gear after a very uncharacteristic early exit. Seahacks, what happened?
Good evening. Hope you guys are having fun, enjoying the race. I had a little. I was following. I was on the back of Madley. I was trying to get around him using DRS. I stuck DRS and we went into sort of one of a kink left-hander, and the back end just sort of slipped out. This little one now, and I went off into the grass. The track was clear. There was somebody closing up behind, but it was clear. I rejoined, and because I wasn't going. I don't think the guy. I think it might have been Pinpoint. I do apologise, Pinpoint. I wasn't quite up to speed when I got back on the track. He obviously didn't see me or didn't realise that I wasn't quite up to speed, and he hit into the back of me, and that was both our races over.
A tough break there, Haxie. Can you tell us a little bit what it's like on that course? I mean, is it difficult? Is it different from the other ones, the circuits that you've been working with so far?
Yeah, this one's a tough old track, this one. It is fun in the F1 cars, but I don't think it suits them particularly well. There's not a huge amount of overtaking opportunities, and because it's quite small, quite compact, it's fairly narrow, I think, for an F1 track as well. It's very intense getting around here. It's a minute a lap. You don't get much time to take a breather, it's pretty much flat out the whole way around, barring a couple of corners. So yeah, it's a really tough one, this one.
Wow.
And hats off to the guys, obviously, who are going to have to stick it out for 80 minutes. It's not easy.
You looking forward to Monza next week?
I certainly am. I've not done any sort of race pace practice or anything for Monza, but I'm sure I'll be able to reclaim my position in the championship.
Is that fighting talk?
With a bit more practice.
Is that fighting talk?
Well, I don't want to. Yeah, it is.
You heard it here first.
I've had a swig of beer. Yes, it's fighting talk. I'm coming back, baby.
Well, at least he's honest. We'll give him that. We're on board with H-Tune right now, who's currently in place position 6 right now. We still have that scrum right now going in. Looks like between 5th, 6th, and that's it. Wow. Charger right now is actually held back but we've got Pinto and FX now as well, kind of behind that. So Charger has climbed to 7th place. Well done, Charger.
Yeah, H-Tune's definitely benefiting from the lower sort of attendee numbers, because I think 6th is probably the best he's ever managed so far. So I hope he can keep it together and bring that home, because he's my teammate, and I'm relying on him to bring home the bacon, as it were.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that runs. He's been actually looking quite strong here on this course. This you know, from what I gather and from what I've been hearing over in the RWB chat as well, this track doesn't suit everyone. So, you know, and there's a flavor of the week for everyone. So definitely looks to be the case here for some of the drivers. And it looks like Justin's been tagged for a small penalty as well along the way. But, you know, Monza is kind of the mecca of the racing world. Everyone knows where that track is, and you know, boy, does it have a rich history. So that'll be an interesting one to go. And Justin Madley's been disqualified.
Oh dear.
That is going to bring our field down to 8. We're going to recap here right now as we're over at 53 minutes left in the race here. We've got Rodders in first, Rigel in second, 15 seconds behind. Jammer is now securely in third. Audi in fourth, and close behind him is H-Tune in fifth, Charger in sixth, Pinto in seventh, and FX in eighth. Looks like those drive-through penalties really hurt Pinto and FX. It's a bit of a shame there.
Yeah, they could end up having their own little private battle with that. They both had a drive-through at the same time. Oop,
and Audi is now off the course.
Always losing positions fast there.
And he's stuck.
Gone. Another one.
Oh, it's like a bad Queen song, and another one bites the dust. Rigel's in the pits as well. Gonna get a splash of fuel, get some new tires. He's back out on mediums.
Yeah, he seems to have been the first of the pit, well, not imposed pit stops. So looks like the window's opening up for these pit stops.
Charger's in the pits as well. Looks like he's going to do the same thing. Back out on medium tires and back out on the field.
Yeah, one racer tonight at the moment's elected, and that's Pinto.
Oh, and Charger gets hit for a speeding through the... Oh, Charger, too heavy on the pedal.
Oh dear.
This
splitting feathers.
This pit's claimed a few guys, hasn't it?
It has 3 so far. It's a bit murderous, I do have to admit.
So Pinto and FX both got drive-throughs, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that'd have been for speeding in the pit lane, and then obviously Madley's just been disqualified for speeding in the pit lane, and now you've got Charger as well, who's just had a penalty. So that's a total of 4 people so far claimed by the pits. It is a dodgy one. This one. It's 60 mile an hour, or 60 kilometers per hour rather than 80 kilometers per hour. So it is a little bit strange, and the entry is very early, as we see Rodders going in right now. That's where the entry is, just as it comes in through into that barrier. So it's a long old pit stop. This one, and it's an absolute killer.
H-Tune is now in, got a new set of tires. Looks like he's on the mediums as well, and off to the races himself.
Yeah, it's like Rodders is just completing his splash and dash. Wait for his go up in the air, see what tyres he's picked. He's also elected to stay on the mediums on that one.
Probably a safe bet, yep.
Yeah,
Looks
just got Jammer to finish on the pit stop strategy for the first imposed one. Oh, and I'll say that, here he comes.
Good call, TK, good call.
Yeah, it looks as though Rodders is just done a half an hour stint on the mediums. He'll probably do another half an hour and then switch on to softs from the looks of it.
Probably a good plan. Yeah, it would make sense too. Time-wise, short track, a lot of turns. This will definitely go ahead and benefit him. We're going to go back on board with Rodgers right now, who's enjoying about a 15-second lead here on Rigel. And Jammer gets hit for speeding in the lane. Aye. I've got a funny feeling we're going to hear a lot of blowback from the drivers on this.
Yeah, it seems to be imposing a few casualties on the old time clock tonight, that pit lane.
So I'd just like to put it out there that the commentators here have had no business in picking these courses. Leave us out of the lynch mob, please.
I know, obviously Jammer's got that drive-through, but that puts a little, unfortunately for Jammer, but that puts a little smile on my face now, because that means that H-Tune should, given how long it'll take Jammer to get through the pits, will potentially move up into third, so that'll be a podium for H-Tune.
That should, but there's still a lot of race left. We're still not halfway through, so anything can happen. And, well, let's be honest, boys. We've seen a little bit of everything. Disqualifications, drive-through penalties, missing wheels on the side of the road, and Charger is now disqualified. And the field goes down to 6th.
Lap 29 and half his field has been decimated.
I'm worried about the fact that we might not have enough racers to go ahead and finish a race here.
I have to order an Uber. We'll compete. We'll order an Uber a piece, and just we need them quick, and we'll get on. And because at this rate, there's not going to be many left.
Yeah, it's definitely this is a course that's definitely breaking a few hearts. So we're going to go on board here with FX right now, who's currently in 6th place, and definitely giving Jammer a run for the money here. So close race right now, and this is from the back of the field of 6 racers. And we've got Pinto off the course again.
And he's back on there. He's out in the catch.
FX now, he's actually making a push, and he is now crossing to 4th place as he takes the inside line. Can he keep that? Looks like he does. Oh, and he's off of the course.
Is that cursed again? The curse is
FX,
real.
if you're listening, man, that was not intentional. That I have no control over the commentator's curse.
Go on, CX, you try it. See if it happens to you. You have to let it flow. You have to just let it flow, and then for some reason, there you go.
I'm telling you, I'm starting to get a little nervous with selecting these guys to go ahead and follow now.
We're the ones that are going to get lynched, not the pit lane. It's us.
I know. Well, guys, to recap, as we're still a little bit more than halfway through the race, we're down to 6 racers. We've got Rodgers in 1st. Rigel in 2nd at about 15 seconds behind. H-Tune 38 seconds behind in 3rd. Jammer in 4th, another 30 seconds behind H-Tune. FX right now is only 2.2 seconds away from Jammer. And Pinto, who is now 5 seconds behind FX. This is our entire field as it stands now.
Could be a high-scoring round for the remaining, the survivors. In this series.
I think you're going to have to call them that at this point.
Yeah, they seem to be dropping like flies, and the pit lane's getting quite a bit of flack for it. But if they hold on, it could be quite a high-scoring round. Rogers is doing his 33rd lap at the moment. Got 45 minutes remaining of this session. Next week, as I say, we've been got our favourite of Monza. Following that, we've got the Slovakia ring, and that's I butchered that one, didn't I? And that was on the 2nd of the 11th. And then to top the series, Suzuka GP on the 9th of the 11th. I hope you can join us for all of those.
I've got to admit, I am actually really looking forward to next week's over in Monza and the final week over in Suzuka. Those are some great tracks for Formula One type cars, and they are certainly not for the faint of heart either. So those will be a lot of fun to watch. I'm really, I'm really in shock here over the course here. We've chewed through a lot of racers so far here, and kind of can't help but wonder, what we're going to be in store for, and we're not even halfway through the race.
Yeah, the surviving 6 spread over this track at the moment. I mean, Rodders has opened up a commanding lead. This could actually be his race tonight, as we say that, and FX has just gone off. It's just been took by Jammer again, so they're having a good battle, them two. We've seen them swap places quite a few times tonight.
Let me see if I can bring in our resident tire whisperer, see what happened here. Well, it doesn't look like he's in the Discord anymore. Yikes. Well, I brought in Justin Madley here. Justin, what happened, man? What did this course just put a spell on you that you couldn't get past? Okay, I think Justin stepped away. All right, we'll get back to him as soon as he gets back in. Well, guys, we're coming up pretty soon on the halfway point of the race here, and we're definitely noting a shortened field, and we're going to try and recap this as best as we can. We've got a lot of real estate in between each of the positions as it stands right now, and to be honest with you guys, this is a bit of a challenge here to really kind of call. There's no close-in action, but we're going to keep showing you the action from all the racers here as they go ahead and come across here. So
I think Charger's turned up.
It's the old man, Mr. Charger. All right, what happened? How challenging is this course for you here, there, boss?
Am I allowed to swear?
Well, it does say that this audience is for mature audiences.
No, No, it's very, very difficult. Very difficult. Al Gardner had a bit of an off, and I ploughed into him in the first chicane. I couldn't avoid. I think I had slight damage because I was all over the place after that. And I don't know, that track is just crazy. You just the G's that you're pulling through every single corner. It's crazy. One little mistake, you're off.
Yeah, from the update, it looked like half the track was full throttle, and a very technical section.
Yeah, we've been
pretty much is, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say we were seeing a lot of flat-out racing, but unfortunately, it looks like that flat-out mentality caused 3 disqualifications from the pit lane. So it's been a bit of a challenge for both you guys as racers and us as commentators here. I mean, we're down to half the field right now.
Yeah, I got disqualified. I mean, I knew I'd got a drive-through, but I actually forgot about it, and obviously I got disqualified. But I'm not actually sure where I was caught speeding. It must have been on the outs of the pit, which, you know.
Yeah, I think it was, to be honest with you, because I remember putting the camera to you as you were leaving, and then we saw that notice come up at that time.
I wasn't actually sure where the entrance of the pit was, so I was quite slow into the pit. So I don't think it was. Yeah, you must. Killer of a track. That. Respect to these guys for cracking on with it though, because it really is hard work. I wasn't expecting it to be that hard.
It's deceptively tough. I mean, from looking at the track view and looking at how you guys are handling it, you wouldn't think there would be too much of a challenge. But I mean, these stats don't lie. We're down to half the field, so the monster from the Czech Republic has officially claimed 6 victims so far.
Yeah, it was a bit of a poor show to start with, wasn't it? Which I was a bit surprised about. But people can drop 3 races, so I suppose a lot of people may have chosen life, and drop this one.
Yeah, it certainly seems quite a few unattendees tonight on this track, and I wonder if it's the actual track itself put them off.
It's possible. I don't think it's really suited to F1. But, if we'd have had the full rotor of F1 tracks, we would have done those. But all those tracks aren't in Raceroom, so you've got to have some fillers.
Ask your feelings about Monza. A bit like Marmite, love it or hate it?
I hate it when we put it up for GT3 because you get every man and his dog in. But I actually like the track. Yeah.
So we'll put you down for a yes then.
Oh yeah, I'm up for that one, definitely. I mean, that first chicane's very similar to this one, actually.
Yeah,
very
common.
Yeah, it's a man-eater, huh?
Bit of a nightmare first on the actual start, and then it could be about nasty for the first 5 laps to your tyres.
Yeah, I think the Monza one's a bit harder in, but easier out, where this is easier in, but a lot harder out, because it seems to loop back on itself. You can just see there, you think you're out of it, and I kept pushing the nose. Yeah,
looking at the actual track map, so to say. It's very long straight, but as we're saying, easy in, and it comes back on itself before you then hit turn 3.
Yeah, I've just watched the replay back, and I actually turned in on Pinpoint after rejoining. So I just want to give a massive shout out to Pinpoint and say I am so sorry, Pinners, mate.
You're gonna lose your kneecaps. You're gonna lose your knee.
Oh yeah, it's really bad about that one.
He's a gentle giant. Just I hope you ain't got a cat.
Oh, is that what happened to you? Actually, had a crash with him, or?
Yeah, I went off track, and during the rejoin, Pinners was right behind me, and I sort of pulled over to the middle of the track, and then got back on the line just as he was coming past me, and obviously I didn't see him in the mirrors, and he ended up hitting into the back of me. He was basically going full pelt down the left-hand side on the racing line, and I should have just stayed over to the right.
You do know the character in Snatch, Barry the Baptist, was based on Pinners in real life.
Barry the Baptist in Snatch? That didn't ring any bells, mate.
Oh,
was he really?
So that's not Lockstock.
That's the one, Lockstock. Dear. No, he's a gent. He'll totally.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
I'm going to go underground. I'm not coming out now until it's all forgotten about.
We're going to deny that we even know you there, Hacks. That's okay. Hacks? Who's Hacks? Wait a minute. There's a Hacks around here?
Do you know you're not far off there, TK, because Pinners was an extra in Lockstock.
I told you, man.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
He is the governor.
We've got Pinto in the pits now, pulling out. Pinto, watch your speed, for the love of God.
I think the term I was looking for, it's his manner that the area is in. His manner, it's my man.
Well, guys, we're now at 34 minutes left in the field. We seem to have stabilized the driver bleeding, and we're still at 6 right now. We're going to go ahead and recap the listing here. We're going to go ahead and show you as they come across. We got Rodders in first, Rigel in second, H-Tune in third, Jammer in the fourth, just outside the podium, FX in fifth, and Pinto just on fresh tires in sixth. So that's going to do it for the entire field, as we still got 33 and 3/4 minutes left. And yikes, Pinto, easy there, bud.
Oof, he caught up lovely on him there. Now, was that Rodders actually lapping him?
I believe it was.
I think that was Rigel.
Yeah,
Rigel.
Rigel. Yep, the red car. Yep. And it seems as if my track map is broke in the race director, so I couldn't quite tell offhand.
Yeah, H-Tune seems to be having a little battle with Rigel, but Rodders is cruising at the moment.
H-Tune is 45 seconds behind Rigel.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of real estate there. Almost an entire lap length there. Oh, just about.
Yeah, the closest gap is between FX and Jammer, and that's about 5 seconds, which is not all that exciting, really. So yeah, it's just a case of I think hanging on and waiting for the time to count down, I think.
Call that track the Widowmaker.
Certainly Survivor Series tonight.
The Widowmaker, the Man-Eater, the Race Killer. Oh, man. This thing has been brutal.
Aye, most people didn't even turn up. They were like, nope.
Nope, not tonight.
That's a whole lot of nope. Thank you very much. Right, I'm going to shoot off, gents. Have a great rest of stream, and good luck to everybody else who's still out on track, and my humblest apologies to Pinners. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was C-Hacks there, one of our first exits off of the course there. Thanks, C-Hacks. Appreciate the time there. So we're on board right now with FX what we lovingly refer to in America as a 40-acre field in front of him.
I'm actually reading the race director correctly now, and some big gaps there. Shame, really.
Let's check in with H-Tune, see how he's doing here.
Yeah, coming up to the half-hour mark on this with 45 laps in. Wonder if we're coming up to another pit window.
Yeah, on mediums, that might be a little bit conservative yet. I think we still have a few laps to go, but hey, in this race, anything can happen, and, well, let's be honest, pretty well has.
Yeah, from missing wheels to pit lane speeding and the odd little accident. We've reduced our field from 12 to 6 tonight, and we're only 46 laps in. But yeah, we're looking at the app, and some of these drivers are pulling 6 Gs in one of the right-hand corners, and then coming under braking. I suspect up to turn 1, they're pulling at least 4.5 Gs under brake.
6 Gs. So to give you kind of an idea about what that is, so a fighter pilot in an FA-18 will barely hit 6 Gs in a tight turn. So these guys, they may have wings, but they never leave the ground, or at least they shouldn't, but they're exerting the same kind of force and pressure in real life as a fighter pilot. That's just incredible.
Yeah, I'm just keeping one eye on the app while I'm just coming around to try and identify the actual cornering.
I wondered why my seat was going crazy.
Yeah, you've got the degrees of freedom, haven't you?
Sarah. Yeah, I should have turned it off for this track. It's actually really bumpy down the straight as well, which I hadn't noticed.
Huh. No kidding. You wouldn't have thought of that, but, well, yikes. All right. That definitely adds a little bit into the immersion of it. Let's be honest. That's a neat fact. You don't really get the appreciation of that, from what you're seeing here on the stream, or even if you don't have that, that immersion available in your own version of the sim, So, that definitely gives you a little bit to think about as well.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it in the car there. You see the car's going over the undulation. You don't necessarily feel them where you haven't got any motion, but Jesus, when I put that on, I shouldn't have put it on because I was going down the straight, bumping up and down, and I couldn't hold the steering wheel straight.
Yeah,
let's see if we can go on board in the cockpit here. Let's see if we can see it here. So this is still H-tuned right now. He's coming up pretty soon to the straightaway here after this right-hand turn. Let's see. All right, here's that turn, and then as soon as he hits this right-hander, he'll hit it. Oh, yeah, you can definitely see it a little bit.
Yeah, the braking section, well, the heavy braking section on the app is that first corner. Full 4.5 Gs are pulling there in braking.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely some heavy duty there. Let's go ahead and check in with Pinto here at the back of the course. He's 67 seconds behind FX right now, so literally and quite possibly an entire lap. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are joining us on the stream, thank you so very much for joining us. This is definitely not your prototypical race for the RWB boys here. We usually have, quite a few racers still in the ploy, but this has been a tasking challenge here for our racers today. And as you can tell, we still have 6 racers out in the field. So thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate you taking this in and enjoying what we do here. If you have any questions about the club and you're not currently a member, we are more than happy to go ahead and answer anything. We are monitoring the YouTube chat, and feel free to let us know.
Yeah, we race on most weeknights and put on quite a few events. If you're into your sim racing and looking for some nice clean racing, come down and join.
Absolutely, and they let an American in. That should tell you how inclusive they are.
And a Yorkshireman.
Right, yeah, and they even let us commentate.
We have a quota. We have to, allow a certain amount of different people in. It's diversity.
I represent the bottom of the scale, right? Yeah, I get it. Okay, who let the American in? FX in the pits. Back out on medium tires. Please watch your speed. Yeah, it looks like he got through without a scratch. Well done, FX. Currently now in 5th.
Yeah, I wonder if it's an extended pit lane that's catching him out.
Well, he definitely made sure he didn't cross the line there with the limiter off. I noticed that. That must have been where it caught me. You got to be careful with your rear wheels still over the line.
I wonder if it's a bit similar to like Long Beach. You know is it the blue line on that one? That's got a really long one after you exit the actual line.
Rigel in the pits now, coming out, and he's got a set of medium tires and quite possibly a little extra fuel. Crossing the exit line, looks like he's good, and he's going to dance with Rodders a little bit there. Well, guys, unless some strange act of God occurs, I think, Rodders can pretty much chalk this one up as a victory here. He's currently right now stuck behind second place, but he's in first. Let's go ahead and mull that one over a little bit, shall we?
Yeah, still keeping hold of those 1 minute 4 laps 5, and seems to be extending his lead.
Well, to kind of go over here, the point standing here for the X17 League, barring these results right now, as of last week's over at Spa-Francorchamps, we had Seahacks in first at 232 points, Rigel in second at 227. This will definitely help him out in propelling more than likely into first at this point. Rodders, though, is closely behind at 221, so depending on how these points space out, we may see a wholesale change under the first place, from the third place position. We got Jammer in fifth right now, Madley in sixth, Tyrion Dave, unfortunately, who did not show up today. He was in seventh. Beans, same thing. He's in eighth. Pinto in ninth right now. He'll definitely pick up a few points. Benjamin Rosigna, who is not in as well. Most of the other compatriots here who have not gone through are making out the bottom part of the actual list as well.
I'm not sure if Madley's available. He's been talking in the YouTube chat. I believe we've also got an event on tomorrow night, haven't we?
Yes, the bathtub with wheels. Yes, the NSUTT. Yes, the abomination that should never be on a racetrack. Yeah, that's definitely tomorrow night at 9:30 here. You can definitely catch the stream. It'll be more than likely Mr. Seahacks in the lead commentating position, and I will be accompanying him as well. That is always a great time. We've had distinguished racers such as Gamer Muscle in, and we've got a lot of guys that are very active in the Raceroom experience racing scene. We've got Nigel, we've got Yevgeny, and quite a few other well-known names in the circles that they join up, and it's definitely an interesting time. It's a strange-looking race. It looks like a car that should never even race, but man, they make for some great times in that one.
Certainly do. I've competed in one at leagues, not very well, but love them or hate them, they're a real fun car to drive, those ones. I believe we're also doing a GT3 one as well, I think, but that starts, is it next week?
I believe it is.
Or is it the week? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a week tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that'll be one that they're not going to be able to keep me in the commentator's booth for. I am so in on that one.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. Default setups, Porsche GT3, 4 weeks, arrive and drive. Everyone's well.
Did that actually come out of the mini league that we ran?
It did indeed. That was a underhand test, shall we say? A quiet. It went quite well as well.
Yeah, and it was actually a lot of fun to watch. They're very competitive, and I mean, it seemed that everyone really tuned to that car quite well.
Yeah, I think once you get all people in that car, all the same car, it is very close racing. It's just not very competitive within its class. It's really nice to drive though, and it needs a bit of love.
Yeah, I did. I must admit, I did actually go out and then put a few laps in other courses with that car because I was amazed myself by the handling of it. Straight out the box, it ticked all the boxes, so to say. It was lovely. But when you do race that car in public lobbies, it does seem to be a little bit underpowered, but it does seem to have the handling through the
and that was one of the things that I've always loved about the Porsche GT3R is it's not the fastest car off the line, but man, does it corner well. It's beautiful. Like over in Nordschleife, over in Monza, I mean, that car can definitely hang on.
Going up now to the 18-minute mark left, lap 56. Still Rogers. He's opened up a really commanding lead here. I think it could be his tonight.
And just another note too here on Saturdays after the X17 League, lets out here after Suzuka, which is still 3 weeks away. The following week here in this slot, we are going to be doing a GT2 90-minute endurance race, and we've got additional details here on our website coming up. Make sure you check that out too. This is for Raceroom Experience. These are fun cars. I mean, you've got the Cadillac, the RUF, and a few others here. So if you look under the Raceroom Experience, the GTR2 cars, that's going to be our next series. We will have additional information on that here pretty soon, but keep an eye out too. If you like endurance racing, it should be a pretty good one here for you to go ahead and hop into and have a little bit of fun. I'm mulling it over. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm more interested in the Porsches, but you might get the chance to see me in a Cadillac on the track here.
Having a pink Cadillac?
No. We don't do pink cars over here in America. That's just simply not done.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a go at the GT3 one over the other, that Porsche. Yeah, it does feel nice, as you say. I took it around Nordschleife and probably butchered that as well. Can't pronounce them. But, yeah, a little bit, as you say, slower compared to the other GT3s. But it's got the handling in and out of the corners is beautiful.
Yeah, that thing is a real pleasure to drive. I mean, it's very smooth in the corners, and if you can, dial in your turns and everything, with that car, you can pretty much do it all. It's just not as fast off the line, but man, it's a good technical driver's car.
I'll have to put a petition in and get RWB to do an endurance one around the Nordschleife. That is a nasty track.
Oh, that's one that separates the men from the boys. That's I tried that. I was laughing and crying and screaming and wincing all at the same time on that track.
There's one track you can go around twice, hundreds of times, should I say, and never do the exact same lines. It's survive the corners.
Yeah, that's not a track that you race. That's a track that you survive. I agree.
We're certainly running a Survivor Series tonight. It's took 6 out of our 12 starters, quite a few of them from the pit lane, a few with wheel losses. They're held out to lap 60 at the moment with 6 drivers left.
Taking. Hey, there he is.
How are we doing, guys?
Man, tough break today. I'm really sorry. You became one of the famous 6 to get the axe here.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened, man. I got DQ'd pulling into the pits. I hadn't even got to the area where you're supposed to slow down. The only thing was I did pull in a bit late and cut across the line, so I don't know if it's because of that, but fucking gutted because I was in third position at the time, so yeah, bastard.
Yeah, I got DQ'd as well, madly, I think on the exit.
Yeah, there was some.
Did it,
Sorry, go on.
no, I was going to say, did it not give you a drive-through or anything like that?
No, mate, I hadn't even got to the slow down area and I just got booted straight back to the garage.
Yeah, YouTube were actually saying, I wonder if there's a glitch.
I'm gonna have to watch my replay back, I think, and see what's going on. But like I say, I made the decision late to go in on that lap, so I sort of slightly missed pit entry across the line. So whether it's something to do with that one, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gutted because my only real battle was with Jammer for fourth in the championship. So I was just looking to finish ahead of him, really. So tough to be up in third spot. But yeah, want to be.
How many laps did you complete, Madler?
I'm not too sure, Charger. I was in the early 20s, I think.
Oh, you might still get points for that then. So as long as you complete 25% of the.
Yeah, he's completed 24 laps.
Oh, you'll be fine. Oh,
Okay.
just I think. Oh yeah, no, that's 30%. Yeah, 20. I think it's about 74 laps. It was estimating. So as long as you've done over what 17, no, 18, 19, something like that. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
But,
you'll still gain points for that.
Yeah, that's not so bad. It'll probably go down as one of my crossed off weeks, I'd imagine.
So, Monza, Marmite, love it or hate it?
And yeah, I don't do very well there, to be honest.
It's a good known track though, so it should be easy to tune, shouldn't it? Oh,
Yeah, it's a thing, no charge. Everyone's quick there, aren't they?
yeah.
It does seem to bring all the boys to the yard, that track, doesn't it? Joining us here with 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes to go. Rogers out there on 62, on his 62nd lap, should I say. Rigel following. But, with the looks of it, Rogers has got this in the bag.
What's his strat been? Is he on mediums all the way, or?
At the minute, he's on softs again.
Okay.
What's he gone? Soft, medium, soft?
I believe, yeah,
I think
at least.
I think he started on medium.
Yeah, I think he did medium, and then a soft. I'm saying that H-Tune's on the soft as well, followed by Pinto.
Yeah, they really start to drop off pretty quickly, those softs.
H-Tune's going to be happy with that, isn't he?
Well, certainly a third place. That's a nice bit of pointage there for the lad.
Thank God, it let me back in.
Haha. He's really, his performance has really improved, H-Tune.
And, throughout most of the race, too, Charger, he has actually been fairly consistent timing-wise, too.
Yeah, he's come on leaps and bounds the last month or so.
Let's be honest, too. This is not an easy car to master, let alone learn in a short amount of time, either. This thing is literally a raging bull in a pen.
Yeah, it's not an easy track either.
Yeah, much credit to the kid, though. He's doing pretty well. I mean, he is stuck around in the 104.5 to 105.1 time frame, and he's been consistent. Looks like Rigel now is pulling out of the actual pits, coming into the actual run again.
Looks like he's gone for a soft stint here.
Yeah, with about 9 minutes left in the race, what could have hurt at this point, right?
So we're saying around about 4 laps to go, roughly.
Oh, no, I think 6.
Oh, 6, yeah.
I think that'll be, at times it looks like they're getting a little sloppy too. It looks like some of the sets of tires are starting to wear down. So yeah, let's call it 6. I think that's going to be a pretty good estimation there. So guys, as you know, this is brought to you by RWB International. That's Racers Without Borders here. We are an international group of sim racing enthusiasts. Just love doing what we do here, and we provide the service for our members here to go ahead and take a look at the race, and have a lot of fun here, and just enjoy the company here of a lot of like-minded people. We do not believe in segregating by politics, by race, creed, or any other kind of motif. If you like sim racing, we like you. We definitely would love to have new members along the line that are as passionate as we are. And do us a favor. If you're halfway interested, like the videos, let us know. We've got our website here at www.rwbracing.club. You can definitely take a look around here, see what interests you. We have our own Discord. And believe me, a lot of these guys are not afraid to use it. And you probably will never meet a friendlier bunch of guys here. So, we're always looking for.
So we do welcome new drivers. We swap ideas on setups, from force feedbacks to cars to actual, computer setups. If you're, looking for a home, come race with us. We're more than happy to allow you to race with us. We're not a subscription-based type race thing. We do it all in-house. Come down and race with us. You might be surprised.
Yep, Raceroom Racing Experience is not the only one that we use. We also get involved with, Automobilista. We've got, R Factor 2, R3E here. Some people might, deal with the others, Assetto Corsa, Project Cars too. We're certainly not, brand agnostic, or we're not, we're brand agnostic. We don't really stick with one or the other, and it's just about the fellowship and having fun.
That's it. We offer quite a few race nights, as I say, across multiple disciplines and platforms. And also in this downtime, we do like a bit of first-person shooters, and also a couple of hack and slashes. I've seen a few of those. The Soul Blade, I think.
Soul Calibur. Yeah.
I've heard a few.
Yeah, that's the one you hear a fair bit of cursing and whining and crying. So
that's the one.
I'd just like to add as well, for people out there, we're not a league. We're not. A lot of people always, we're not a clan. We're not a league. We're a club. We're like your local pub. Come down the pub, have a chat,
have a laugh. Let's be honest. If you're not laughing while you're doing it, you're not doing it right.
it, and I think the beauty of us, there's quite a few people from different time zones. There's more than likely someone on 24 hours a day.
Well, guys, we're getting down to the brass tacks here. These guys have survived another number of laps here. We haven't had a disqualification since. Our field is still at 6. So we're down to 4 minutes left. Now let's check in here. So we got Rodders in first. Rigel in second. H-Tune, well done, sir, in third. Jammer bringing up just outside the podium at fourth. FX UK in fifth, and Pinto in sixth. That'll round out our entire field on this very interesting race day here over at Autodrom Most.
Yeah, certainly a brutal first half of the race tonight. Saw 6 of them disappear. But I have to have a look into that pit lane. It seems to have crucified a few people there for getting it wrong. And also about 2 with wheels missing. I'd like to have a look at those on the replays later. See what happened in those situations. I think we just missed out on those, so I do apologise.
Yeah, I think we're going to have the race marshals a little bit like the American football, the replay decisions there, the slow motion replay calls. There's definitely a lot that's been going on here during this race, but we try and make it as entertaining for you with the field that we have left here as we round down to the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Well, the lap times haven't dropped off, and they're still playing for places. Still seeing 1 minute 4s, 1 minute 5s, 1 minute 6s, so they're not easing up. But as I said, we've got 2 minutes 12 left now, and I think Rodders has definitely got this one.
Now that'll be a pretty good win in the book there. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I did not note who the fastest lap was. Unfortunately, let's see here. So right now, if things don't change, Rigel should pick up an extra point for the best lap at 103.982.
With only 3 rounds left, there's not a lot now. Should I say, not a lot of races to make up those missing points. So that one point could come down to a place at the end of the season.
Yeah, every lap and every point counts now as we're kind of down to the wire here of the league. So it'll definitely be interesting to see the overall point standings too after this race is in the books.
Yeah, it looked like quite a few drivers dropped this one tonight. Whether it be an unknown one to them or they just actually found it a little bit too technical for them. After tonight, we can see quite a few races have bit the bullet. But Monza should attract them back again next week, I believe.
Oh, that should be a huge field. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, like I mentioned to you, beforehand, that's kind of the mecca of racing. I mean, Formula 1, 2, and 3, Formula E, GT3, Ferrari Racing Series. There isn't much that doesn't take place at Monza. So, it's a well-known course, even with its infamous first chicane. It'd be a lot of fun to watch.
We did have a few messages earlier tonight. People have had to dock out because of life commitments or work commitments. So that was another factor. I think the track and people have got other stuff on. It's just one of those dips. We've had pretty much 15 plus every week, haven't we? So
certainly have on that one.
Yeah, and like everything else. Oh, Mr. Pinto, you missed. You're still off. There you go. All right. Yeah, just like everything else in life, sometimes real life has to take balance, and God only knows most of us are our family members, so we get it.
Yeah, we do allow, is it three three actual courses you can drop, and it doesn't affect your actual end score.
Yeah, 3 out of 12 races you can drop. So yeah, it's only scored on your best.
Well, guys, this one will go into the books here with Rodgers in first, Rigel in second. As he's coming up to the finish line now. Soon, I hope.
There we go. Game over.
And it'll do that. So, yep, looks like Rigel takes an extra point for the fastest lap. Mr. Rodgers will be deemed our Demolition Derby, Autodrom Most Grand Prix winner at the best lap of 104.125. Finish time at 80 minutes, 21 seconds. So Rodgers in first, Rigel in second, H-Tune in third, Jammer in fourth, FX in fifth, and Pinto in sixth. Positions 7 through 12 did not finish, and that would be Audi, Pinpoint, Hacks, Gartner, Charger, and Madley. Well, guys, I got to be honest with you. We've had a few people in already that have been DQ'd. Kind of a smaller field this time, but definitely, a technical course. What are your thoughts so far?
We're very promising at the beginning. I say it demolished 6 drivers, though, and proved to be, shame. It looked a really good race, but onward and upward.
Understood. So we've brought in a few racers here to go ahead and just go over a little bit of quick, guys. I know I've brought in H-Tune, Rigel, and Rodgers here. Rodgers, congratulations on the win here. It's been definitely an interesting race. We started with 12, and we finished with 6. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I guess about the race, it obviously wasn't a classic. It's kind of lowest attendance. I knew that track was going to be hard on some folk, and if we were going to miss one of the last 4, it would probably be that. But, a wee bit disappointed with the turnout, but I really hope with the Monza, Slovakia ring and Suzuka will get folk up and get more in for the last few races. I just must admit I just got my head down. Hacks got a bad start. I got into the lead, and from there I just really kept my head down. Madley was keeping up, and I found myself checking the timings. So I think about lap 6, I just switched off all telemetry and just kept my head down and just drove. You're never sure what strategy people are on. So you don't want to think I've got a good lead, because I've seen that happen before, and then before you know it, you're getting overtaken in the last stint. So I just kept my head down, and just the mediums were excellent. They were super consistent. Every lap just felt almost the same, even as they wore. And I knew I had softs coming in the last stint. So yeah, chuffed to bits. I'll take that one. I don't know what happened to poor Hacks. That was a shame he went off, obviously.
Yeah, the DRS error.
Oh no! Oh God! Well, it's bad luck to him, but I say that could kind of throw the championship open, because I don't think Hacks can afford a dropped race. So proper condolences to him, but I'm sure he'll be there in the last few races and trying just as hard for pride and otherwise.
It certainly looked like you got in the zone tonight, and as you were saying, the tyres seem to be pretty consistent as well.
Yeah, I didn't expect to pit Hacks on quali. He's been consistently a couple of tenths ahead of me, but just on the day, just managed to nail one of my best laps. I don't normally do that in quali, so yeah, my luck was in tonight. I'll take it, and it certainly makes things interesting for the last 3 races.
Rigel, again, back towards the top of the field, man. You're making a career of this, if I didn't know any better. And, a hard fought, a very interesting race here for second place. What are your thoughts?
It was a hard race, that. Although, oddly, towards in the last 2/3 of the race, or last third of the race, I found myself a little bit on autopilot, which was a bit weird, because it was quite a I don't know, well, a little bit of a technical track. There's some blind corners on it and whatever. But as far as the start went, I didn't realise Haxa got a bad start until we arrived in the first corner, and there was a bit of jostling. But full credit to everybody for not running into each other there. That was well done. After that, I saw I think it was Pinto and Madley were in front of me, and I think I'd clocked that they were on softs, and I'd done some testing and knew that they would drop off after sort of 13, 14 laps. So I was quite happy to keep a pace with them. And that bore out. I think also Madley had a problem with getting around some of the sharp corners as well, which was a little bit of his undoing. But I don't know if you saw it on the stream, but when his tyres finally did go off, it was well, wasn't an easy pass, but it was about as easy as it could be. Overtaking him in the bends rather than on the straight. That was quite interesting. Towards the end, though, there was one funny moment during the race. Was Rudders has actually caught me up because I just done my last pit stop, and my telemetry was showing it as H-tune behind me, but I was getting a blue flag. And I was thinking, what the hell? Why am I getting a blue flag? And H-tune, has he really caught up that much? So I had no idea. And then Rodders is saying, whoever that is in front of me, get out of the way, get out of the way. I just didn't clock until a little bit after. So that's well, if you'd turned your telemetry back on, you might have been able to give me the nudge. But I think in the end, it didn't really matter because you were almost a lap up bar a pit stop.
Yeah, the telemetry I've got just gives me the race positions. I can't tend not to use the Sim Hub add-on because it risks my frame rate dropping. But dude, if I'd known it was you, I wouldn't have shouted out because I would have realised I was almost lapping you and you were in second. So, but I shat myself a few times because a lot of the rear almost went as my tyres were worn in some of the fast bends.
Well, that would have been an interesting way to decide the race, wouldn't it? No, I wouldn't have been any the wiser. But yeah, towards the end, I realised that I had a fair gap behind me, and it was about 7-8 laps to go. And I thought, I know I can just get under 104 with a set of softs on. So I went, and that might be decisive at the end of the season.
It could be, and you pipped it. I was trying to get a clean sweep, so you stole that. But I tried to push it, thinking I'll try and nab it back, but it almost went off. So I decided.
Well, yeah, 2 laps before the end, I went off on the last corner, and I thought, that'll do.
So the Monza Marmite question next week: love it or hate it?
I'll find out when we do it.
No!
So if Speed Demon was here, he would give his diatribe on it that it's a bit boring, it's too easy, there's not much to it. But I do find it makes for some fantastic racing because of the straights. And I hope we can get more people on. I think Monza will pull some in, and I think it'll be a good race. I mean, tonight's wasn't a classic by any means, so we've got some classic tracks to come, and Monza being one of them. So I think it'll be a good one.
So, H-Tune, I know you've been waiting for a little bit here, and I apologize. We're going to get to you here right now. That's a heck of a race, man. You started with 12, ended with 6, and you were probably, and you've been recognized as one of the most improved, but you were also one of the most consistent throughout the entire race. What was your plan? What did you put into play that really worked well for you here?
Well, I put a bit of practice early on the media, but I had some really good setup help from C-Hacks, is really helpful. So that really changed certainly how I was coming out the corners, particularly that tight hairpin. Sort of found myself getting a lot more speed out of that after his help. But yeah, just as I was going along, it wasn't a bad start. And then just people seemed to sort of be disappearing left, right, and centre. I think some people had some technical problems as well, so gutted for them. And there was a good battle with 4 of us for a little while earlier on, with Audi, Jammer, and FX as well, I think. And apologies, I think there's a couple of times I went sort of wrong through the corner and sort of definitely got in FX's way, so apologies for that. But yeah, just sort of kept going, and as I sort of noticed, sort of the numbers position just kept going up and up. I was expecting sort of to get overtaken again when I pitted, but it didn't happen. Sort of managed to stay in third. So bonus. I think it's going to be my championship tactic: is go for the races that other people perhaps aren't so familiar with. Perhaps.
There's not many of them left, unfortunately.
No, not really.
I have to say, well done to H2 myself. We don't see you up in the top end of things very often, so it's about time. But well done.
Yeah,
Thanks,
well done,
Elsa.
mate.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's certainly that chasing pack certain to have a few little battles going off all night, and yeah, very entertaining.
Yeah, good fun.
Well, guys, on that note, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a close to this stream. And, guys, thank you so much. That was, entertaining would be an understatement on that one. It's not often that you see a race field get cut in half before you're halfway through the race, but you guys stuck it out and you really made it an entertaining enterprise there, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, looking forward to Monza next week. Hope you can join us for that one. Same time, same place. Come join us.
Well, in any case, guys, Charger, on behalf of Charger, TK, and I, we just wanted to go ahead and say thank you so much for joining us, to our sponsor, Racing Sim Tools. And we look forward to next week over at Monza International Speedway, or not International Speedway, excuse me. We'll just call it Monza. That works.
But that's American coming out. There's no international speedways in Europe.
Yeah, I know. I keep forgetting that, and it's just one of those things that gets ingrained in you. But it's been an interesting time tonight over here in the Czech Republic, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. And from us here from RWB Racers Without Borders, thank you very much for joining us. Race clean, race fair, race for position, and mostly, guys, have fun. In any case, on behalf of TK, he's been TK.
And this has been Draco.
And we wanted to thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you next week in Italy.